Look, there is no but, because that is catastrophic for the United States. But I do believe it's time to call the Republicans out over this. Are you kidding me on the debt ceiling? When Donald Trump was president and needed to raise the debt ceiling over and over, Democrats said, yep, we get it. And what are we trying to raise the debt ceiling for now? To cover the debts that were incurred during the Trump administration. And the Republicans want to turn around.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're wanting $5 trillion between two bills, and you're talking about the Trump administration paying. Yeah, it was $1 trillion bill after $1 trillion bill because of the open borders policy that would allow various other infected people into America to hasten the pandemic.
This is about honoring the promises we made back during the Trump administration.
So you're calling out Republicans. Is your bet then that Senator McConnell will budge?
I don't see how he doesn't. I mean, how
you say, I bet you guys are getting a pharmaceutical check. I bet you guys are. I bet you secretly are getting a check from the pharmaceutical companies.
And just say, look, I get it. You guys think you are
McDonald too.
But enough is enough. Our economy is on the line. Jobs are on the line. People's futures are on the line. The Republicans need to do the sensible thing that the Democrats did.
Think about it. The consensus in the world of doctor or virology, whatever, I don't know, that there's a consensus that the vaccine is good. Well, they're blocking out a lot of people that are having negative reactions to it. There's a woman that passed out after she got the shot, and it was a video that was online for a short while. They took it off.
With the cousin of George Floyd joining us live. But first,
I wouldn't doubt that ivermectin or Tron or whatever it is, and hydrochloroquine and other possible remedies of this pandemic are being blotted out by dumbasses like Mark Zuckerberg. He acting like he's a virologist and he's a specialist in contagion. Well, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, if you're an expert in contagion rates and viruses and virology, then why would you be fucking open for open borders? Why are you putting people in Facebook prison for being against open borders?
And tell them about the potential value of compound growth. $5 a day can really add up by the time you're ready to retire. Yeah. You mean we don't have to do criming anymore? Save and invest easy.
You know, this she let her hand out. This Elizabeth Warren, that she's a socialist. She let her hand out during the run to be president. She sided with socialism.
Regrowth treatments to thickening, shampoo, and conditioner. Just go to 4hims.com for a free consultation. A licensed medical provider can help you with your game plan. If prescribed, Hims ships directly to your door. Well, that's convenient. Get your hair back in the game with Hims. Order today and get a 90-day money-back guarantee at 4hims.com.
You know, pizza's good, but they need to start that keto diet they're talking about.
Thanks to Factor, I'm able to stay on track and hit my goals with nutritious, no-prep meals that meet my goals to a T. No frozen dinners, no mystery ingredients. Just nutritious meals that are ready to eat in just about 2 minutes. Oh, and did I mention they're delicious?
Keto never tasted so good. Visit GoFactor75.com and use code READY100 for up to $100 off.
I often say that, this life is but 120 years. The Bible said that 80 years, 70 years, whatever it be. Do you want to seek those things? Sex, money, drugs, wealth, whatever it be, power. Those things that drive you in life, that whatever it be, you want those things to drive you for you to not do the will of God. So therefore, you may not inherit the kingdom of heaven. So in eternity, you will be in hell with no way of escape. Do you want that? Think, the people in hell right now, if indeed they be, you know what they would give to be you? They would love to be able to breathe air. I hear there's no oxygen in the center of the earth or close to it or beneath us. Not much, if any. You know what they would give to be you, to have the moment to say, yes, I will serve Jesus. He's the Lord. He's the Lord. I want salvation. Yes, yes, yes. I don't want eternal burning and going to the lake of fire. I would love to be you, to have that opportunity. Would you think if they got out of hell, do you think they'd be like, whoa, I need to make my portfolio stronger. That's what I have to have a lifetime of doing. I have to start a business. I have to beat Mr. Jones in the neighborhood. I have to have better stuff than he. I think they'd be concerned with going to heaven with any breath they are given. Maybe you should too. Maybe you should reason that life is not that long. Maybe you should reason that, hey, maybe I need to get right with God. Maybe, see, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So the wages of sin is death. So if we think about it, all of us are supposed to die, right? Or at least most of mankind has died by God's gavel. All the wages of sin is death to humanity. Shouldn't you therefore want to get good? You think that we're in death row then, right? We have probably 80 years. This will take a long time for us to get that sentence carried out. But do you think the time allotted to us, should we not try to get good with the warden? If God is the warden, we're on death row, and our fellow inmates may be demons and Satan. Through our whole life, our friends, our influences, people, they were demonic, always trying to make us not be good with the warden. Think about it.
Many people might say. So, okay, President Biden and President Macron have patched it up after Macron refused to talk to the American president for 5 days, and as you say, recalled his ambassador. But you make the really important point, Ali, that the president has not said sorry for scuppering that French, they thought, billion-dollar deal with Australia to provide them with submarines and replacing it with an American-UK deal to provide Australia with nuclear submarines. I mean, look, some of the boring details, if you like. President Biden has reaffirmed the importance of the French-European role in the Indo-Pacific. He's agreed that there should be a stronger European Union militarily, as long as they stay inside NATO. He's agreed to support more European...
France is compromised.
In Africa. But look, in the end, what's really happening...
France is compromised. France is now, from, of course, what Biden... If we look hard enough to make a pipeline to supply fossil fuels here. Biden's all for renewable energy. Over here, he's proclaiming at the top of his lungs, yes, man-made climate change, climate change, climate change, climate change. But he just okayed a giant pipeline from Russia to the European Union, Germany. Really? All the while, he said, oh, they're a big adversary, right? Russia, big adversary, but we're allowing them to supply Europe with fossil fuels. So think about that. Europe is now going to be dependent and grow independent Russia. Russia is closely an ally of China, which therefore we were building stuff to go against. It looks like all of Europe is going to be sold out to the Russian-Chinese alliance because they're getting fossil fuels from Russia. They're dependent on them. All they have to do, once they get everything into place, and their society is built on the infrastructure of being fossil fuels from Russia, all Russia has to do is start to shut it off. Get their way in a lot of different ways. Well, Europe is compromised. My mind is compromised. It's compromised. Hell yeah, I'd leave France out of any making subs to counteract the building of many ships, including many carriers of China. Macron's an idiot. Well, that's a commercial. I like to talk about what's really important. Right? Really important is Jesus. You know, you get lost in politics. Many people get married in their soul, in their spirit, or whatever, to a party, right? Everything. You know, you'll be talking to people, right, and they might bring up a good point, but if it goes against your marriage with your party, then you'll even sometimes come up with a lie to protect your party, right? An issue comes up and you'll just conjure up a lie maybe to protect your party. Oh, we're right, we're right, we're right. The thing is that should you be married to a party? Should you be married? And that's in essence what you are. You know, if you're a Republican, a staunch Republican, or a staunch Democrat, a social justice warrior, or whatever, should you be married to parties? Should you? Question, should you? Should you be caring about what God cares about? Should you care about salvation? And what is salvation but getting right with the ultimate judge of evil? Now, he's already said that mankind is evil. In essence, they all have sinned. Well, if you sin one time, you're evil then, right? Wouldn't you be? Unless it's blotted out, I don't know, by God. But think about it. Shouldn't you spend your breathing moments, when your heart's pounding in your chest, shouldn't you use that time allotted to get right with the judge? Everything else is just wasting time, right? You hang out with your neighbor, your friends, and they lead you to God, or they take you away from God. They help you do drugs. They help you have sex out of wedlock. What do they influence you to do? It's just you. Salvation is it's a singular salvation. It's just between you and God, and who influences you but Satan and demons in life. You ever think about it that way? That even your family members, it's in your home that they're trying to steer you clear of getting right with God. Think about it.
Former President Trump's niece, her name is Mary Trump, to this new $100 million lawsuit that Donald Trump filed yesterday. That attorney, Ted Boutros, is calling it doomed to failure, like the rest of his baseless efforts to chill freedom of speech and of the press. That lawsuit, of course, accusing Mary Trump and 3 New York Times reporters of a, quote, insidious plot and an extensive crusade to obtain his tax records. As for Mary Trump's response, quote, I think he is a loser and he's going to throw anything against the wall he can. While a spokesperson for the Times is defending the paper's reporting and calls the suit an attempt to silence independent news organizations, promising to defend this vigorously. I want to bring in now NBC's justice correspondent Pete Williams. So Pete, there's kind of two questions.
So you're biasing a jury. You're biasing a judge in a civil lawsuit. You're biasing it.
Would he not have to be deposed?
You're taking precious free press time to bias a jury to help your constituent, which is Mary Trump, which is not the most trustworthy person on the planet.
Sort of critical responses, but not the ones that count in court. There is a colorable claim here that Mary Trump violated the non-disclosure agreement in 2001. There was a battle over family finances.
She did. She lied.
And she signed a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, she lied, and you guys use her like she's talking the gospel's truth.
She didn't disclose any of the documents that were used in the court battle. And according to the lawsuit, those are the documents that she gave to the New York Times that resulted in this 2008 story about how Trump,
you know, it's something,
was not a self-made man, that he got a lot of.
It's something how this MSNBC can take somebody that turned on Trump. Maybe they use deep state tactics with big tech toys at one of someone in the administration, Trump administration, or some part of it, get them in trouble, and then when they see that they're in trouble, they flip to get a lighter sentence. Okay, we'll go after your guys' number one enemy. You guys are all in collusion, right? Judges and federal attorneys and this and that. The Democrats are all in collusion with one another, from again, police departments to DAs to whatever. They're all in collusion. It's all political, right? So that will flip on Trump to get a light sentence, and then they put him on their TV station as they're a saint. Yes, we can trust what they're saying now. No, they're not trying to save their own ass. They're not trying to save face. They're not trying to write a book. It's bullshit. It's stupid. The whole very point that they flipped, you said you shouldn't trust them. They're just trying to save their own asses. Let's see your coverage. Let's see your coverage.
That thousands of them will be allowed to seek asylum.
Look, what is that?
According to our sources here at NBC News, 2 senior DHS officials, they're released on what is called a notice to appear. And worth noting here, it's a process that's been used a lot.
So what are you doing? What are you doing but trying to influence others to come into America? You guys are fucking assholes. You guys are fucking assholes.
Unprecedented speed of arrivals at Del Rio. And after a dangerous situation unfolded in
the whole idea,
a source familiar with internal.
The whole idea is that we shouldn't be racist. I absolutely agree with that. We should love other peoples, other nations, other races. We should. But the whole idea of other nations coming into America to further the moral code of those in power right now through Obama is sickening, because they're in direct opposition to someone that's moral or righteous with a Christian God. They're direct opposition to it. They want to link up nationwide. They want to not only make the American taxpayer pay for broadband, to upgrades and all that. Where, again, the richest people on the planet are some of big tech CEOs. They're not burdening the upgrade that's needed for a vast array of Americans to get broadband. They're not willing to shoulder the costs that it'll take to therefore have a product to serve Americans. They want the American taxpayer to pay for it, and pay for it, the infrastructure of it, and to pay for the services, both of them. Wow, what a gig, guys. What a freaking setup. Now, as far as how the Democrats are doing everything, they are having other nations' people come in and take over America with their moral code. They come over here with different beliefs. If it's Mein Kampf or the Quran, they have their own moral codes built on their own ideologies. It's not the American way. The American way is the Christian saint way, to be a saint, to be right with God in the year of our Lord, which is Jesus. It's not Muhammad's Allah. It's not Buddha. It's not Hare Krishna, whatever it is. America is a Christian nation. I don't care how many times Obama wants to sit there and talk about, Islam built America. It's in the fabric of America. We had Islamists building America. No matter how many times he lies about it, America is a Christian nation. For it's on our money and God we trust. Trust is big to the Christian God. And it's not talking about other gods, but it's talking about the Christian God. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, Jesus. I mean, it's pretty much that. The Christian God. That's always was. That was always a context of in the year of our Lord. Our Lord is Jesus. Jesus is Lord. Now, they want to erase all of our history, right? They changed in the year of our Lord to BCE or something. Or no, it's BCE. See, it was before Christ, BC, and then before Common Era, right? And they change everything. After Adonis was after death, after Jesus' death, right? We're in AD right now. They try to change it all up to erase Christianity from the books. So then for our kids grow up and they're like, well, now we're not a Christian. Yeah, we are. They're just trying to change history. And they have all the computers, they have all the technology to brainwash all the kids as they try to learn and try to understand different issues. Well, they have searches all ready for them, fake searches that don't give the lens of the other sides of the stories, the truth. They want to keep the truth from the children, and no wonder that kids are going and shooting other kids. There's no wonder of why children are committing suicide now. 9-year-olds, we have 9-year-olds that commit suicide. It's all because they're sick. They don't care about Caucasians. They hate them. They hate them. Joy Reid had to get a handkerchief to wipe her womb because she was so excited at the numbers, when they did the census. She was so excited. Well, Caucasian numbers are down. I need to call my black sisters in the hood. What up, hood rat? What up, what up, what up?
Either route would work for us, whether it's lawmakers getting back to action or whether
that's another thing. That's another thing.
At this point, I think that whatever.
What, my button doesn't work? I hit mute and I have to hit it 4 or 5 times. Government, you think you can stop fucking with my computer? You think? Will you take all your junk off my fucking computer so does it eat up my memory? It seems like you guys are hell-bent on spying on Americans. Mr. Obama's clapper, or the biggest liar I've ever seen in my life, is the American government spying on Americans. No. No.
Yet it stands still. It's what I think it should be. It's a promise that was made to the family. It's a promise that was made to the American people. And I think it's important that we get the ball moving again.
No, the thing is that they went through the late night shows, the talk shows. You must do endless jokes of hating our political our competition, right? Trump's coming in and he's not in the Obama circle of trust. It might mess with our power and money, power and wealth. So we have to do endless jokes. If you guys ain't on board, you're going to get Dave Chappelle. You're going to have to get all your contracts canceled. We're going to scare the shit out of you so you run to Kenya or somewhere overseas, or you're afraid. We're going to put you in fear. You better go our way. Do endless Trump jokes. Oh, Jon Stewart's cashing in. He's not want to. Well, if you don't want to do endless Trump jokes that have to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you have to go our way. Ice or cake, right? They'll vomit socialist government, that Obamacare. You better have ice cream or cake. A birthday, right? A birthday was the cake, and ice cream was ice cream, right? You get beat up or hurt or something, your ribs broken or something, right? Well,
will be beneficial to all of us.
Sharita, thank you so much for being with us again this afternoon, reacting to news that I know you are just processing as it has just developed. President of the George Floyd Foundation, and of course a cousin to Mr. Floyd. Thank you. If you've been scrolling through Facebook recently, if you still even have Facebook, you may have noticed some things that are a little bit different. Published overnight, this New York Times story is exposing this initiative inside the company named Project Amplify, meant to amplify
They
the
show me
company's
child
reputation
porn images.
by putting positive stories about itself on your news.
Well, the Obama government made sure that I wouldn't have a good name, so I could find a beautiful wife, right, to marry, to have sex with, right? They isolated me, went through my social circles, gave me a bad name, lied, probably presented a lot of fake posts, a lot of fake messages that I didn't make to get people pissed off at me in my social circles, to leave me alone with no sex partner, therefore to keep me isolated. And then they're going to try to show me child porn. When I first noticed it, I was before God, I was a nympho, and not the nympho that I went out to go after people to have sex. I was a nympho in the sense that if anyone came to me and I was attracted to them in any way, be it male, kid, woman, whatever it was, that's the way I was. If you kind of hit on me, I'd do something with you because I thought that if you were sexual, it showed you care, right? If you turn somebody on, you make them feel good. In my mind, I thought that if you make them feel good, it means you like them, you're cool, right? So before God, 20 years right after 9/11, that's how I was. Like I describe it as a nympho that wasn't active. Like I didn't go out and seek people I didn't hit on people. I don't remember ever hitting on somebody. As far as, but I'm trying it now. But as far as being born again, I'm a born again virgin. I had some incidents of sexual incidents. Like I got mad at God, and well, I'll go through it. A long time ago, I wanted, my back was hurting. I went to an Asian, no sex whatsoever, like 10 years ago, not at all, nothing. And my back was hurting, my lower back. I wanted a masseuse. I went to an Asian masseuse. She told me to get naked. I'm submissive anyway. I'll get naked. Okay, I'll get a massage. And she rubbed a sponge on my perineum and then propositioned me. Well, I was like, okay. How much? $50. Okay. I was turned on because a wet sponge touched my perineum. If you want to know where your perineum is, it is between your anus and your penis. That my whole body sponge bath or whatever. Asian, I don't know. So that was the first time she gave me a hand job. I paid to get a hand job. A month later, I got mad at God because I really wanted a wife. Went back to her one time. I got 2 hand jobs from her, and since then I got mad at God a number of times again. 5 times between 5 different guys, I gotten a blowjob. I've never given oral sex to anyone. I've never had anal sex from anyone or given it. I've never had vaginal sex. Now, with that said, that's my total born again sexual history of under 20 years. But by Obama, when I got in politics, made it pretty sure that I couldn't date with gossip and lies and deep state tactics and big tech toys that go through my social circles and give me a bad name. But then Facebook wants to train me to think of children sexually. I see I see a kid's hand on a penis. I report it. I don't want to think that way. I don't want to think of a little kid touching my penis. It was trying to get me to think that way, right? And I reported it. This does not violate our community standards, Mr. Allgood. They showed me a little black baby that was sucking or about to suck a penis sucker, trying to give me the thought that babies suckle, right? You just put your dick by their lips and they'll suckle it. I reported it. This does not violate our community standards. So it was a white baby with a thick black marker, permanent marker of penis drew on its face. Babies suckle. They suck. Making me think of children giving blowjobs. I've reported it. I don't want to think that way. I used to be a nympho. I'm trying to be good for God, right? That's my mindset. I'm scared of God. I don't want to think that way. This does not violate our community standards. They showed me a little boy on Facebook that got nude. He was like 6 years old and had sex with a grown woman. She was hot looking, but A little boy got nude, went to the shower, came back out, and she was laying on the bed, and he started humping her, butt ass naked, showing me on my Facebook. And Facebook is the one that did it. They wanted me to think like that way, right? Like I was the girl and the little boy was doing me. Well, I went. They had me go to YouTube. It was boring. I didn't have nothing to do. Isolated from everyone. No one wants to be my friend. You're enemies with Obama, and the government will get you. They get us if they're with you, and you went to mental health. Mental health comes over and bangs on your door every other day and makes you look like public enemy number one. We really don't want to do nothing with you. And then, of course, I go to YouTube, not have nothing to do. They show me a little Russian 13-year-old, really hot girl, narrow hips, and she's in these little G strings. And then they show me ASMR. And they hypnotize me to not only think I'm a female, but they hypnotize me as to thinking that sounds turn me on. Sounds hit my excitatory signal maker that go and stimulate my genitals, and I was hypnotized in that. And there's more to it. I play YouTube at night, and I wake up and it's hypnotic. They hypnotize me at night when I play the TV. All right, okay. ASMR, turning me on to sounds, and then having a little girl do this similar sounds to that which they train me to get turned on to. So therefore, more conditioning subconsciously to make me think of children sexually. And I would go to Periscope and see little virgin girls. Of course, I'm turned off by horrors. I mean, if you're giving it away to everybody, if you're opened up in such a Stormy Daniels Grand Canyon fashion, I'm not too interested. I like virtue. I like the whole idea of a virgin little girl is a turn on, and them showing like 12-year-olds in the name of Russia, or it has some Russia name on it, but showing me 12-year-olds that are dancing nude or getting nude, knowing that I have no outlet for a sexual partner, but I get these taboo videos and paradigms. I know damn well it's coming from the deep state. So it's a turn on that they are intimately dealing with me in a sexual manner, that I get some attention sexually. So that's the draw, right? I'm having some intimacy on some level, even though it's cold and they're trying to kill me with it. Well, they're trying to act like, still, they're not allowing me, after they have trained me on YouTube, showing little boys nude, swimming mud holes and swimming their little butts and their penises when they swim and this and that. They did it for months on end, and I got addicted to it, looking at little boys nude. Um, well, they're trying to now act like, now you got to keep this in mind. I contacted Tim Wahlberg to get child porn off the images of big tech search engines, and it worked. I wanted to be proactive, even though I was turned on by kids. I got thinking that way again after I got saved, but I want to be proactive and take child porn off the internet. So I contacted Tim Wahlberg. I contacted Debbie Dingle. I called Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. I called FBI a number of times. They end up hanging up on me in the middle of my story, or, oh, we cut you off. We got to cut you off, and we'll file it. Whatever. Called ICE. I did everything proactively I could to protect children from someone like me, and try to go after the real bad guy, which is big tech, people like Mark Zuckerberg that are Muslim in nature, that they think it's fine that you would marry, a grown man would marry a 6-year-old and not break the hymen until she was 9, that was perfectly fine. That's how they think. They're globalists. They're perfectly fine with grown men having sex with children. And if you get in their world of child molestation and you don't like it, or you like it and you go against them, well, or you're a threat in the court system, like you're in trouble for it, and you can give names and you can tell their secrets, well, they'll Epstein you. They'll just get rid of you. Bill Clinton, White Wiener, Podesta pizzas. They had a code that You know, if you order a certain amount of things from a certain pizza shop, that means you wanted a kid or something, a number of kids for a party, for a sadistic, satanic party that had sex with children. And naked kids would be in pools and little spas of rich people, a Podesta party, spirit cooking and all. They'd even buy body parts of aborted babies to be in spirit cooking rituals. And well, well, I'm still a virgin. I still thank only by the grace of God. I've never touched a child being born again. I've never. It's my weak area that they train me to think of children sexually, but just thank God that I haven't touched a child. And please pray for me to get delivered from it again. From I got saved and the fear of God when it says that it's better that a millstone be wrapped around your neck and tossed into the sea than you to offend one of God's little ones to make them sin or something like that. That put a scare in me so bad that even though I think of anyone that was attractive years ago as a nympho turned me on, I was deathly afraid of the millstone around my neck that God would have that happen to me. I was so afraid that I worked really hard to go against the sexual feeling, resist Satan and he'll flee. But you turned you on. Okay, grandma panties. Okay, shitty diapers, whatever. Something to turn me off. I'm going against it, resisting. It was really strong. And for them to isolate me and have me go to court and put drugs in me and have me drool on the stand because I have state drugs in me and ask me, Mr. Abraham, if God told you to kill, would you kill? Being a good Christian, you're like, yeah, well, Abraham, yeah, I guess I'd have to kill if God himself, I didn't go into it, but if God himself asked me to kill, I got to move in that direction. Okay, well, why do you want me to kill? Am I an executioner or am I a judge in a murder trial? Am I commander in chief? I'm going to go kill somebody in Iraq. What is it? They entrap you. Then the secular jurists say, "Oh, his subconscious is going to tell him to kill. Therefore, therefore, he's guilty, and it's not God. He's guilty, and he's a threat to society." As a Christian, you can ask any Christian that entrapment question, and what are they going to say? If they say no, then they're a bad Christian. Well. Yeah, they entrapped me, got me a bad name, called me, pretty much labeled me as crazy. Oh, you talk to God, and made me so after many decades, couple decades, I would not have a target of my sexual affections, but they thought it was pretty fun to feed me child sexual attraction paradigms over and over again for many, many months. Yeah, let's kill him that way. Let's get him to like children sexually in his mind. And once he likes it, we'll hide all the evidence and hide all the links that go to child porn sites and all the links to images and what I don't know. Let's hide the evidence. It's digital land. What are you going to do? Photo or screenshot it? Not admissible, really. It's his word versus ours. It's bullshit. That's why they like the computer so much, because it's so easy to hide the evidence. It's so easy to change the vote tally in a federal election because it's digital.
Defeat resulted in that party's losing candidate becoming a more powerful political force, idolized by his party's leaders and its base. And never before has that losing candidate seemed to revel in the specter of violence.
Now, on the big scheme of things, what I'm doing is interesting, right? I'm being open and just talking about politics and faith and what's interesting, child molestation and maps. I would probably consider myself a map, a minor attracted person. But okay, 40 minutes this video has went on, not one comment, Not one person watching, nothing. Now, in a court of law, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Nothing. I have like 40 friends or something. Not one of them is watching. We have a big goose egg right here. Not one of them is watching. What, I'm not interesting? I'm not interesting? I'm not attractive even to a person with zits all over their face and a growth on their chin and deformity. I'm not even attractive to them at all. I'm not attractive at all. I don't have to be Don Juan. I don't have to be Don Juan, but not one comment, not one viewer. Think about it. It's evil of them isolating me. They're wanting me to think of children sexually where I can't find a target of my sexual affections. They're evil. What's your guys' problem? Why is it taking so long for me to mute and unmute? What, you got to change her dialogue? Oh, he's about to turn the sound back on. We have to not allow him to do it so quickly. What is that, guys?
Radicalizing people through disinformation on all those fronts. Watch.
The point of mandatory vaccination is to identify.
What is disinformation? What is it? It's not the tech plan guilty. It's the biggest violators of disinformation. They want to teach you. They want to teach you evolution. It's either God created Adam and Eve, or a primordial soup made mankind. They're the biggest violators of misinformation.
Diversity, it's our freedom. As Woodward and Costa note at the end of their extraordinary new book, quote, "The peril remains." Joining us now, Pulitzer Prize-winning Washington Post associate editor Bob Woodward and Robert Costa, national political reporter with the Washington Post. They are the co-authors of the book we've been talking about for many days now, Peril.
Bob Woodward selling another book, huh? All you guys are rich fuckers that try to fucking profit off Americans. Bob Woodward's book, another fucking book. He sold out Americans' safety, he sold out our safety and saying that there was a 5% death rate in America with the Rona, which was misinformation itself. But it hid the fact that he knew that Trump was supposedly misleading Americans and gonna let America know during the election. Oh, I want to keep it a secret. I want to keep it a secret to the November elections. February, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, November. To sell a fucking book.
This is the worst moment for a military.
What are you? Are you a demon? Because look at your neck. Why don't you straighten your neck out?
Really is the seed of war. And so Milley, in a crisis mode, used his top secret back channel with the head of the Chinese military and said to him, "Look, we're not going to attack you. That's preposterous." And he said, If we are going to attack you, I will be calling you. I will call you.
Is that
Well,
treason?
That didn't mean he's going to tip him.
Tell us,
off.
is that treason?
It meant that there would be an environment.
Isn't that treason?
Crisis that
bypassing a duly elected
the
president,
military, these
bypassing a chain of command.
Would be talking, and he said to General Lee, "Look, this is not one of those times that's a crisis. We are not going to attack you," and persuaded him. So
who is he to say we're not going to attack or not? He's not
General
fucking
Milley
commander-in-chief.
Is trying desperately to persuade the Chinese, because General Lee would talk right directly to President Xi, that this is not going to happen, and it's what in the military they call deconfliction. Let's calm everybody down, and it was successful.
He said he would let our adversary know what our president does on the down low. That's treason.
5-year relationship. They were able to lower the temperature significantly, and for people to say that Milley somehow...
You're just wanting him to be scared that he's going to be tried for treason, and therefore the Joint Chiefs of Staff is going to be on your fucking side, kissing your fucking ass. Fuck you, you motherfuckers.
This is
fuck you.
A moment where he has a practical problem. How do I protect the country? How do I deal quickly with the Chinese?
But Woodward, I want to really understand what you're reporting about why, because you lay out two rationales. One, that he thought that Donald Trump would and could.
Let me guess. You guys are going to save the fucking day for Milley, right? So therefore, the Joint Chiefs of Staff or
mental decline. I want to read from the book. Quote, Milley had witnessed up close how Trump was routinely impulsive and unpredictable, making matters even more
Trump
dire.
and nationalism against him, and you guys are going to protect him, so therefore you guys have the fucking military on your side if civil war breaks out. You guys are fucking little chicken hawk punks. Open fucking borders, sell out Native Americans or settler Americans and Native Americans. I have Royal Indian blood in my blood. Sell us fucking out to other nations' people, because you get a fucking check from the pharmaceutical fucking companies from fucking China, you fucking chicken hawks.
Milley saw and sees Donald Trump.
Certainly, and the Chinese part of this all happened in one day, on January 8th, 2 days after the insurrection, which of course is set Washington and the country.
Insurrection. So everybody, now you have a new word to play with. Anybody that doesn't agree with our politics is insurrectionists. Fucking dumbasses.
Milley said, "Are you going to collapse?" And Milley realizes,
oh, they're either conspirators, Islamophobes,
as have the Iranians,
insurrectionists, racist. My God, can't you fucking win on an issue, on the grounds of the issue?
There's the convergent problem of Nancy Pelosi, the
you gotta fucking label your enemies. Well, they're in Q. That means they agreed one time in 75 with a Q. That means they're a conspiracy theorist. That's all it is. That person's a conspiracy theorist.
That the president.
No, Podesta. No. Podesta did not have any code with pizzas and molesting little girls and boys. No.
Should be followed.
Liars.
He realizes Pelosi has a point, that a president with all the authority,
fucking non-American Muslim,
go rogue, and so he calls the people
Podesta
from the war room in the Pentagon into his office and goes around the room and says, "I need to be."
Podesta paintings, Mr. August. Would you like a Podesta painting? Well,
me first.
I guess you guys trained me to like it, right? Little boy and girl butts.
Secretary of Defense James Schlesinger did in 1974.
Send it to me.
With Nixon, who was also deemed unstable.
That transcript, Bob Costa, with Speaker Pelosi and General Milley is one of the most extraordinary pieces of a book, chock full of scoops. We shared it with our viewers as soon as it was reported by your news outlet and others. And what's extraordinary about it, I'm going to read about
God's in me, man. God can flip the script at any moment.
Robert Costa, what I want to understand from you on the other side of this is, where are the Bob Corkers who at the beginning of Trump's presidency sought to limit the nuclear authorities of a president?
The reason why I can
Because
smoke
some of the same
is
things
because I have a
that
relationship
here.
with
Let me
God
read
that
what
lets
you
me
guys
know
write
what
in
I'm
this
allowed to
section
do.
that Bob has.
You better get with God and find what you can do, what you're allowed to do with them.
January 6, 2021 was a direct assault on the U.S. Congress, the Capitol building, and our constitutional process. On January 20th, 2021, President-elect Biden will be inaugurated and will become our 46th commander-in-chief. It was not traditionally the job of the chairman to make such declarations. Milley took a draft to a confidential tank meeting at the Pentagon. He handed out copies to the Joint Chiefs. You don't have to sign it, he said. I can sign it by myself for myself as chairman on behalf of the chief, or we can all sign it. Take a look and tell me what you think. They all read it and all said they would sign the letter. Robert Costa, take me through the significance of that. And if you're surprised that the Republican Party in its current formations reaction,
I'm sure that the Zuck, jihadist, the Zuck would fucking is elated that General Milley hooked up Afghanistan, radical Islamists in Afghanistan with probably billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in American military hardware with 50 Black Hawk helicopters alone. I'm sure fucking the Zuck is happy as hell. My fellow Islamists, we got hooked up again. Yes, it wasn't a Benghazi thing. It was kind of like it.
That now has too much power when it comes to the military. They can bypass procedures, perhaps. It's a little murky at times about how a commander-in-chief could directly order something to happen without a discussion taking place. And on the political level, leaders in Congress could step up on different fronts. But if a president wants to stoke a different kind of
duly elected
action,
president,
something to maybe not.
So is Trump right about being mad at Milley?
Powers of Congress in this day and age, in the way norms have been shattered and the Constitution has been tested, what are the real powers of Congress, the military, and others to contain a presidency that is?
You guys went through the military. Obama went through the military and radicalized both sides. So even a fucking Muslim psychiatrist went and said, Allah is great. God is great. Allah Akbar. And went out and shooting fucking fellow soldiers.
Choose your own adventure.
You guys use fucking deep state tactics with big tech toys. I fucking know what you did.
Was the feebleness of Republicans to call out what, based on their own histories, would be an.
You want to take the chaplains out? It was part of the fundamental change of America. You want to take out Christians in power in the military. So therefore, Raphael Warnock could come on and say, "Oh, we have a godless military," saying that Obama has the military, right? You fuck, it's gonna catch up when you fucking chicken hawks.
When January 6th takes place.
Bob Woodward mentioned the Schlesinger moment from 1974 that has echoes today. But there's another moment from 74 Bob Woodward and I have talked about a lot, is when Senator Barry Goldwater of Arizona went to Nixon along with some other Republicans from Capitol Hill.
53, almost an hour of talking.
President Nixon,
Zero comments.
And it's time
zero views.
Resigning, thinking about
government. You're full of shit. Let me fucking talk to people. You want me to be a child fucking molester? Can I go out and find a woman that likes my mind, that thinks I'm somewhat attractive, that can fall in love with me so I can have a fucking family? Or at least, at the very least, have an object of my sexual affections?
Come back, carry the Republican